Welcome to day 3 of our Camel Training Mini-Series where we, Tara
and Russell,
teach short, insightful camel training lessons to help you get started with Camel Connection, trust-based camel training, which is our signature camel training method designed to help you tap into the camel psychology so that you can better understand the camel. In this episode, we are talking about how to start training a camel the gentle way so that you set yourself and your camel up for long-term success. Because contrary to popular belief, that yes, they are large animals, but they are incredibly sensitive animals. And the finer the touch, the gentler the touch with camels, and we see it time and time again, the better training and handling results you get. Because they're, as you say a lot, Russell, in training, is they're very timid. They're like, they're not like deer. That's a bad example. But, you know, they seem quite bold in their demeanour, but they're actually quite timid on the inside and quite wary of consequences that might follow if they did something wrong or anything of that kind.
Yeah, or the tigers and lions are going to jump out, you know, from underneath the nearest shrub or something along those lines. They're really quite fearful. And your job, basically, as a trainer, is to limit as much fear as possible. So as you're going through your training processes, you're constantly aware of where the camel's fear level is.
And that's where learning how a camel thinks is one of the most important things you can do when starting to train and handle a camel. Because if you don't know how a camel thinks, how are you going to try and limit their fears? And this takes a lot of time and a lot of hours just being with camels and working with camels and trying to get into their thinking. And once you're in it, I mean, you're constantly going to learn new things all the time, but it's an amazing place to be, to see things from a camel's perspective.
Yeah, because they do see the world differently. I mean, they're a camel. They're not a horse. They're not a donkey. They're not a goldfish. They're a camel, and they see the world from a camel's perspective, through a camel's viewpoint, if you like. And so, really, if you're knowing about the camel's stress levels and about their fear levels, about how timid they really are, okay, and that their timidness will go ahead and can lead to defensive mechanisms that they use, which people see that as being cantankerous or being, biting and kicking and aggressive and etc.
And stubborn even.
And stubborn, that's right. So really your training and handling should be as stress-free as possible. Okay, and you should have fun with it. All right? If you're having fun with it and you understand that, this is stress-free, that we take our time, all right, we are training ourselves along with the camel so that there's a bond and relationship being built according to the levels of thinking of both parties. It should be fun and stress-free. All right? If they will pick up on your stress levels.
Oh, totally. Like the finest hint of anxiety or stress, they will just pick up on it. And depending on the camel, that can swing really, really far up the pendulum one end, or some camels are so chilled they're like, oh, okay, I can deal with this little bit of stress. But ultimately, you're trying to limit the amount of fear and stress that's happening in their environment. And this is what's going to set you up for the best camel training success possible. And in hand with that, you've got to cement the bond, the trust, the connection, so that it is unbreakable between you and the camel. And I just want to speak to also maybe those people that might be training and handling other people's camels, whether that be in a commercial setting or milking or in a zoo setting. The point here that you need to get across to the camel is that humans are a good species to be around.
Oh, big time. That's the whole thing, isn't it?
If a camel bonds with you, that doesn't mean then they're going to dislike everybody else. That's not quite how it works. It means that you're showing them that humans are a good species to be around. That's why it's important that they do have positive experiences with humans first up which involves connection, trust, stress-free handling, and obviously gentle.
Quiet, gentle persuasion. I'll always win the day there. It's a really good point there. Really, really good point is to cement and bond. Certainly stress-free, and to limit the fear. Don't vindicate their fears. So don't show them something of human nature where they can turn around and go, told you, that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that, to happen to me because that's what I was fearing, and it's all true. Well, it doesn't have to be that way.
Perfect example is if a camel bites. Some people, their automatic reaction would actually be to hit the camel back, like just to defend themselves, because you're being attacked upon, in quotes, and someone you try to hit back to defend yourself. But that's actually vindicating the fear of the camel, because they're biting out of fear. And then you're giving them a reason to bite again by retaliating in that sense.
Yeah.
And the same actually be said for taking your way up. You're like, to say a camel goes to bite you and you jolt your arm back. That also says to the camel, oh, well, biting works. So that's a whole other topic though.
Yeah, you're talking about the 99.9% of camels there.
Yeah.
All right. There is 1% of camels that will go in for the bite that is actually serious. That really does take another level of handling. But on the whole, 99.9% of the camels that you'll ever come across, you don't want to vindicate their fear, and things like biting. You got to understand that 99.9% of camels, it is out of fear that they're doing that.
So this is how to start training a camel the gentle way. Just some small little steps that you can do. Your job as the trainer, the handler, the owner is to limit as much fear as possible. And your other job as the trainer is to reduce the training and handling stress around the camel, because that will make training easier and quicker, believe it or not. And you are out to prove your one mission, if any mission above all of these things, is to prove that humans are a good species to be around. And that is your job, to get that message across to the camel through these various other means.
Absolutely. So listen, if you're actually new to all this, to all the camel training, or you're just having a bit of a look around and you come across this information, all right, another one, just a slight thing that I want to mention about stress-free environments. Have a look around, see what could possibly be scary in the eyes of a camel where you're going to be doing your training.
Training grounds. Some people train, like, all it takes is a simple switch of where they're training, and suddenly their camels are doing the things that they're asking.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Have a good look around. See what could be scary.
Yeah. Because camels, 99.9% of the time, camels actually want to do the right thing. They're like a dog. They want to please you. So you have to be the one to decode the situation, or decode the camel in the sense, okay, well, they're not doing this. Why? Why aren't they doing this? So tomorrow we're actually going to talk about how to get a camel to sit or hush the right way. And we have some amazing points to teach you and to share with you. But have you heard, maybe you have if you've been listening here, that we have a very special announcement that we want to share with you, and it's all about camel training coming up, and we are going to share that only via email. And so in order for you to hear about that very special announcement, which we're so excited about, you need to head over to camelconnection.com/sign up. It's free to get on our email list to hear about this special announcement. It's pretty big. We've never done it before, and we want you to be the first to know. In fact, email is the only place where we're going to be sharing this information. It's not going to be posted on social media or anywhere else, even here on the podcast. So you've got to be on our email list to hear about it. Again, camelconnection.com/sign up. Get on our email list so you don't miss that announcement. We'll see you tomorrow on day 4 on how to get a camel to sit or hush the right way.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.